up, everybody? Good morning, very good morning on What's Up episode 54, and probably the most momentous, exciting and terrifying What's Up so far. Today is the first ever official WKG ride, the WKG Lava Laps 100 ride, which consists of 25 laps of the volcano counterclockwise route, with the final lap being a sprint lap for A, B, C, D categories, and there'll be a certificate or prize for the winners of each of those categories. I'm sitting there now on the start pen, first ever time as a ride leader, with the big yellow arrow marker above my head, and I'm excited and crapping myself in equal measure, if I'm honest, because so far we had, well, I was expecting maybe to hit 50, optimistically, 50 riders signing on. We, at the last check, had 166, so this thing is slightly bigger than I'd anticipated at the moment. Whether those all 166 turn up onto the start pen is another matter. Some of the guys are in America and Canada. It's sort of 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning for them, so massive kudos to you guys if you do join in. That's serious commitment. But yeah, I have a couple of concerns in this ride. One is being responsible for such a big event and trying to control the pace, which I'll do to the best of my ability. Two, it's the first time I'm going to try our Discord channel, which I've never tried before. I have no idea how it works really. I did a private conversation with myself and Kev Stephen, and that worked perfectly well, but I've never done it whilst running Zwift and recording and all the rest of it at the same time. Throw just a little bit more panic into the mix. My Wi-Fi has been cut off, an external problem which can take up to 5 days for Sky Fibre broadband to fix apparently. So I'm running this from my 4G from my phone, which is interesting. It does actually perform better than my home broadband does, but I've had to use it for work for the last couple of days as well. So I'm just hoping I've got data for a 3-hour ride. It should be okay. What was my final concern? Oh, just making it to the finish, basically. 100 kilometres. I wasn't particularly impressive on the last 100k ride we did, so this will be interesting. Oh, and the GoPro battery lasting throughout the race. I've had problems with that on shorter races than this, so yeah, a few things on my mind, but really looking forward to it, as well as being a little bit nervous, but it should be fantastic. I can't tell you how touched I am by the amount of people and the enthusiasm on the forums for this ride. It's absolutely astonishing, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have this stupid grin on my face the whole way around. It's absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to see a lot. I can already see there's 5 other guys in there, sitting there with WKG in their names. Len and Kenneth, they both joined nice and early. Well done, guys. All wearing what is now the new adopted WKG kit, which is the Vintage 1 kit. I'll have to tell Mr. K Yanghan is the only one so far that's not put the WKG in his or her name, so I'll have to give him a quick shout in a second. But yeah, 25 minutes to go. Just super excited and just so chuffed with the response we've had for this ride. It's absolutely amazing. So I will do my customary spinning up, get my microphone and everything set up, try and get Discord working, and try and get my brain working with Discord, and I will see you when hopefully that is a very full pair of orange jerseys just before the start. Right guys, we got just over a minute until the start of the first ever WKG event. There are 183 people on the start pen. I cannot tell you how chuffed and excited I am by that. I'm actually shaking. My heart rate's been up where I normally am riding along, just out of excitement. I've got my 2 kids standing behind me watching this number click up. Look, we're going to hit 190 in a minute. We might even hit, well look, we've got 50 seconds to go. We could possibly hit 190 before the ticker stops rather. This is unreal. Now I've got to concentrate on actually riding the thing. Last 40 seconds. All the familiar names in there. It's just fantastic to see you guys, and the enthusiasm and the support for this group is absolutely unbelievable. And that
that sea of orange that's just about to flood off the start pen is going to look absolutely amazing riding around through the volcano. Whether 191 of us finish the ride is another matter, but I'm just incredibly chuffed that we've got that many turning up. 192 now with 10 seconds to go. 193. I better start pedaling my legs. Unbelievable. 195. Surely we're not going to hit 200. 195 it is. And away we go for the first ever WKG
Sick.
official Zwift ride.
Look at that.
Unbelievable. I'm going to keep it nice and steady to start off with, just to try and get everybody bunched up. Better get back to my normal view.
Oh,
Look at that. Oh,
my word. They're just going.
how amazing. How amazing. I'm not sure how this works from here on the volcano. I assume we're going to come down, this is the normal ramp. Yeah, so we're going to come down this ramp the opposite direction to usual, and we climb up this first little slope to hit the on the reverse Watopia route. Everybody's doing the usual little rejig before they sort themselves out, and that looks ominous at the top there. 102.6 kilometres to go. So this should be an interesting one, and I'm going to try and keep it pretty steady to start off with now for a couple of reasons. One, I'll die after about 15 kilometres if I don't, and two, it just allows the group to all pull together nicely. Thank you, Len, for the ride on. I'll start firing some out myself in a little while, but for now, Kay Henshaw, thank you for the ride on. For now, I'm just going to bask in my own glory of this bright orange train and enjoy the opening few kilometres. I've had a few more ride-ons. I think. Thank you. I think that's going to be Kev Stephen saying respect. You did it as a direct message. Thank you, mate. I tell you, I couldn't have done it without the help of the group. It's been absolutely amazing, and I'm out of breath from just excitement as much as riding up that first little slope. Unbelievable. So I'm going to shut up for a bit now and just watch this. Cheers, Jay Gorilla. Ride on, buddy.
Hold your breath. Make a wish. Count to 3.
Okay, so we're coming up that last little kick that you get on the lap. As we go under the banner, we should see, oh, it's going to count down. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so it counts down and not up. So that should now tick down to 24. No, 25 to go. Okay. Okay, so this is officially then the first of the 25 laps we're about to do. We're riding now. Yeah, I suppose we didn't come over the banner, did we, the first time? We came in from the start pen and bypassed the start banner. So we've now got 25 laps from this point, and the counter's going to clock down. So when we see that showing 1, the race is on. Cheers, Craig Sharp, for the ride on. I might struggle. I've had loads of others. I do apologise for not reading them out, but I had quite a lot all in quick succession. So it'd be quite hard to keep on top of that. So apologies to anybody I miss in this ride. All seems to be pretty well grouped together at the moment. I think the fastest guys are still just a handful of meters up the road. All keeping it pretty tight. And it's going to be tricky to keep a group of this size together for 100 kilometres, but they're all doing a great job so far. Oh, it's great to see Keith Denton in here. He, for whatever crazy reason, decided he was going for a run this morning. So he set up his bike ready, so that as soon as he got back from his run, he could jump straight on his bike and ride 100 kilometres with us idiots. Crazy. Good on you, man. That's kind of dedication to your sport that I like to see. Got Tom incaking or intaking, asking if we're there yet. Nearly Tom, just a small matter of 99.7 kilometres to go, so we're getting there. A lot of you already know this, but I had a major malfunction in the vortex at the end of last week, or was it the beginning of this week? Anyway, about a week ago, and was genuinely concerned that I wasn't actually going to be able to make this ride. So just to be here, I'm absolutely delighted, and to be here with 194 other guys and girls in the orange jerseys for this ride is just that's kind of taken my breath away even more than the pedalling is at the moment. It's unbelievable. I think we've got a few guys that have just pulled off a little bit of the front, maybe not. Maybe the oh dear, I'm going to struggle with that name. Strabonsky. Sorry for butchering the pronunciation of your name. It might be that you're the lead of this group at the moment. I'll run through all the names around me in a moment in true WhatsApp style. I keep losing concentration when I talk and then upping my power a little bit, and I really don't mean to. I want to keep this as close to the advertised pace as possible as we come up to the end of this lap. I have a feeling this little kick here could be the decider for the final sprint lap. I suppose tactics are going to play a massive part. Alright, let's see that ticker tick down. There we go, 24 to go, guys. Just 24, easy. I wonder if psychologically the distance will go quicker or slower, given that we have that lap counter. There might be spells where it seems like the laps aren't ticking away very quickly at all, but in my mind, breaking the distance down into effectively 25, what would it be? Well, yeah, 25 4-ish kilometre chunks. In my mind, that makes that slightly easier. So it'd be interesting. I'm saying that having done 9.9 kilometres. Give it another 20 or 30 kilometres and I think I might change my opinion slightly. I think what I'm going to have to do to ensure that my GoPro battery lasts the distance is stop it every so often and then restart the recording. So apologies if there's big jumps in the distances in this video. I think it's the only way I'm going to be able to do it, and I can't imagine you'd all want to watch a 3 hour plus long video anyway, so it will be edited down into a more digestible size. Now, this group is just incredible. They're holding such a brilliant pace between 2 and sort of mid 2s. So M. Gilbert saying he's having to do 2.6 to stay with the lead. I'm surprised by that because I'm sort of sitting at, like I say, between 2 and mid 2s in the middle of the pack. Alright, I'll fire out some names that are around me at the moment. We've got Kay DeBecker, Jay McFadden, R Vickers, Rich Vickers, hello buddy, hope you're doing well. Thomas Shusky, G Anderson, E Bymold, I think that is, S Phelps, Kim Little right behind me, hello Kim, good to see you man. I Brandel, MD, M Jackson, S Bergholm, O Apiestos, M Sandyford. They're the guys that are immediately visible to me. Just holding around, thank you Karol Kowski for the ride on, just holding around 2 watts per kilogram just for the moment. So try and stick to the sort of lower end of our pace just for a little while, just to allow everybody to bunch up again. I think if we do that every sort of 10 kilometres or so, just have a slight easing of the pace for everybody, it should allow us all to regroup a little bit. It's difficult when you get to the inclines because obviously everybody has to sort of kick in a little bit just to sort of stay together. and that causes a kind of accordion effect with the riders both in front and behind. Cheers Richard Patterson for the ride on. I can see you just in front of me there, pal, and Kev Stephen and Jay Gorilla. All surrounded by the more familiar names all of a sudden. I'll fire a few ride-ons. I will try and get everybody, but I'll just grab these guys while I can, while they're there. So I've actually dropped off the back of the group now, hoping that will slow some of the guys around me down a little bit. I've possibly slowed a little bit too much. Kim Little's dropped back. So I've got a few behind me. There was M. Bandelier and M. Tantrix. And I think there's a couple of others that have sort of dropped off behind a little bit. And I'd like to try and force everybody to slow down. I did hope that if I slowed down with the beacon, everybody would sort of follow suit. But I put a message out to say slow down to keep it around 2 for the time being, just to allow them all to come back in. We've still got a few. Yeah, so there's a few that are sort of 20 odd seconds behind, and they're having to work really hard to try and get back. So it is a tricky one, because it's not like we've been bursting past the advertised wattage. It's just as a group, the effect of that is incredibly strong. So we need to knock it back just for a little bit. See, I've put a call out for 1.5 watts per kilogram for a little while to allow everybody to bunch back in, and generally speaking that's worked pretty well. So M. Coper now has managed to catch back in. Good stuff. I'd like to see Krellin, Rana and Lana, I think it's Lana, be able to pull back on. So M. Coper now has obviously managed to fly back up because we've slowed down, and he's saying he now feels like Jos Verstappen. I wouldn't mind feeling like Jos Verstappen for a while. He's pretty happy with life at the moment. Actually, did you say Jos Verstappen or Max Verstappen? Either one of them must be pretty happy with themselves at the moment. Alright, so this is good. This is good. So I'm not sure what the guys ahead of me are doing, but my obligation really is to try and keep as many people involved as possible. So I've slowed it down to 1.5, and that does seem that we've pulled quite a few other riders back into the bunch around me. So I'm going to up it slightly and try and now bring this group back to the guys in front. Mr. Detail, if I'm right, and my memory rarely is, but we had an interesting battle up the Epic KOM a few weeks back in one of the, I think the Great Watopia, or one of the SCR races. Very enjoyable and painful. That's good, guys. We've managed to bunch this back up again really nicely, it seems. I would imagine there is another group that are a little way up the road, but they all seem to be listening and regrouping. So I'm now back at like 2.3, and seem to have a lot of riders around me again. Great stuff. Well done, boys and girls. Thank you, S. Gray, for the ride on. Again, apologies if I'm missing people out, but there were loads of them, and I struggled to keep on top of that and ride and breathe all at the same time. Keith D's just been bought a coffee by his wife. I wonder if he could send that message to my wife and see what effect that has in terms of any kind of coffee delivery my way. I've just seen a message come up, and a name I did spot in there, of Sam Leach. Interestingly, those that don't know, Neil is actually my middle name. So I go as Marcus Neil, but my surname is actually Marcus Leach, spelt exactly that way. And I have a nephew called Sam Leach, but I'm pretty sure that's not you. And I'm pretty sure that's also not that interesting to anybody, but thought I'd tell you anyway. But hello, Sam Leach, right on, buddy. I think you're in Australia, if I saw that right. wife just made a very good point. With Keith and Kenneth and others, Padron, all getting coffees brought to them, I did rather cheekily just make that suggestion to her, but in her defence, she's been really ill this week and can barely talk, really struggling to breathe. It's a horrible sort of flu-y thing and a kind of tonsillitis-y kind of thing. And kind of lucky I didn't get it before this ride. I'll probably get it afterwards. This will kill me, this ride, which will be great for my sportive next week. But I'll let her off for coffee duty just for today. Okay, so just a bit of an easing of the pace there. A few guys have dropped off the back. So we dropped down to 1.5 for a little bit. And seems to have done the job. We brought most of them back in. We've got a bit of a group that have gone off the front a little bit, but I do think they've eased off as well. So if I step it up a little bit now and try and bring this bunch back up towards them, then we should all have packed back together again very nicely. So well done, guys. You're all listening to the instructions brilliantly. It's really good. I know we've still got a long way to go, but I've been super impressed so far with how everybody's adhered to the advertised pace. It's not an easy job, this, controlling a group. It's the first time I've done it, and it's not an easy thing at all. But you guys are making it a lot easier than it could have been. So yeah, that seems to have worked nicely. We dropped back, grabbed maybe 8 to 10 other riders who had sort of fallen off the back of the bunch. And it's so hard. You could be putting out 3.5, 4 watts per kilogram if you're off the back of a bunch like this and still not able to make any ground up. But we've managed to grab hold of them. Now we're upping it back up to about 2, and we've pulled it back in to the guys in front. This is the perfect course for this kind of thing. It's not so flat that you get sort of mind-numbingly tedious, but there's no major climbs that can really splinter a big bunch. The closest we come to splitting up is when we hit the little kick just before you go back in under the volcano. But even then it seems to be a pretty controlled pace, and we regroup quite quickly afterwards. So well done to the designers of this volcano counterclockwise course. It's really good. And I love the lap counter as well. That's brilliant. We're on lap 7 now. So still some way to go. But everybody doing well. 53 minutes into the race, sorry, the ride. Technically the race is only that last lap, which I probably won't even take part in. What I'll do is I will, so that I can keep an eye on the front of it, the second we start that final lap, I'll just soft pedal from that point onwards and flick my view to the front of the group and try and keep an eye on what's going on there. Remember, there's a money can't buy prize on the line here for this sprint. This incredibly priceless, exclusive award of a hand-drawn caricature of yourself wearing the yet-to-be-released WKG kit on a winner's certificate. All you'd have to do is send me a photo. I'll let you know after checking all Zwift Power results. I'll let you know if you're a winner. Send me a mugshot of yourself, literally just your face, nice and clear. And the winners of the A, B, C and D groups for that final sprint lap will all get their certificate with their hand-drawn caricature on there. Once I'm dead, it might be worth some money. And to be honest, I might be dead at the end of this race. So, that said, if I die before I've drawn them, you're all out of luck. That's a brilliant pace, guys. Look, I'm doing exactly what we said we were going to do, and everybody's just sitting around me. It's perfect. I'll fire out some names for you. We've got Mr. Kev Stephen, who is always there, it seems. I think he's trying to take over the channel. I think we're going to have to rebrand it and rename it as the Kev Stevens Show at some point. We've got Y Waterlot, D Laurie, C Adrian, R Rana, A Dietel, J Jacobson, B Bandelier, Snowden I saw there just flicking around. It's really hard to see. T Gustafsson, H Bogesso, I think that is, M Blom, K Edegard, Where else? Where else we got? Padrone's there, Padrone de Gas, Craig Sharp's there, good man. Rich Vickers, M Mark, R Gerrant, J Jacobson, I think I've said. T Verjans, M Tantrix, all holding exactly the kind of pace they're supposed to be. Brilliant. Kenneth Scramstead, did I say you? If not, I can't believe that. And Neil Law, good to see you on here, pal. M Pedersen, M Page, Inga Backman. Oh, thank you, Rich. Rich Patterson, loving the ride so far, apparently. Good man. Might not be saying that. When you get to like 60k, that's when it starts to really kill. Zger Ridevold. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I've read it a million times and never actually had to say it, I don't think so. Is it Gear Ridevold? Good to see you anyway, my friend. I couldn't get Discord working at all. It seems to be a piece of cake for everybody else, but it's an absolute mystery to me. I got it working once as a one-on-one conversation. Every time I try and do it as part of a ride, I just can't get anything to work. I could see the odd text message coming through, but I thought the idea was that we basically had sort of voice communication quite simply by having Discord open on my phone and a headphones microphone plugged in. But that didn't seem to be the case. Look at this pacing, unbelievable. Everybody, 2, 2.3, 2.2, superb stuff. I wanted to have a little wager on who I thought would win the sprints on the final lap. But there are so many names in here that are new to the group. I have no idea. There's some guys there, I'm not going to say actually, that wouldn't be fair, but there are some guys there who I do know, who are seriously strong, particularly in a sprint situation, or, I mean, I keep calling it a sprint, but that's just what I've named the lap. It isn't really a sprint because it's 4.5 kilometres long. But it's whoever's got the ability, after having already done 100 kilometres, just to suddenly dig deep and really push for that finish line. It'll be an interesting one. Kind of like what the guys have to do on the pro circuit, I suppose. We only ever really pay attention to the final few kilometres, but they've done all the hard work leading up to that point. On that subject, let me know in the comments if anyone fancies doing a stage race. I think I might have mentioned it before, but I love the idea of doing a WKG stage race where, similar to the ODZ Omnium that was done, I'd like to have a team time trial, individual time trials, a kind of flat race like this which lends itself to a real bunch sprint, and then an epic mountain KOM kind of race as well, and do them in consecutive days to really separate the men from the boys, really, which I am well aware that excludes me completely, but I'd like to watch it even if I can't compete in it. Kev Stevens suggesting I'm off the back. I don't know if he's being cheeky or if he genuinely thinks I'm off the back. Thank you again, Richard Patterson, for very kindly pointing out my my genius with a soldering iron and how that far exceeds my genius on a bike. To be honest with you, I was genuinely shocked that it worked. I think I was leaping around the house in delight because I just completely convinced myself that I was going to have to really work on the misses to allow me to buy a new turbo trainer, and that wasn't looking particularly promising, if I'm honest with you. Having just bought the Cervelo, I think I've used my credits for a little while. But yeah, a bit of cat-handed fumbling around with a baking hot soldering iron, a fair bit of swearing and frustration, trial and error, and yeah, the old Vortex seems to be holding up well. If I'd had my wits about me, I would have looked into a way of, as I was re-soldering parts back on, see if there was a way that I could solder a slightly different part on that would give me an extra 25-30 watts. Easy in hindsight, I should have thought of that. I'd just be cruising around sweat-free and sticking with this ride. I will make a video about it, by the way. I didn't record actually fixing the Vortex. Again, because I didn't actually think I'd be able to do it. And also, a job that should take probably 6-7 minutes I'd actually spread over a whole day, so it wouldn't really go down well as a how to fix your broken vortex. So I'll do a kind of reconstruction of it, I think, for anybody that has that problem. I'll explain what the problem was, how it broke, and in actual fact, I'm wondering whether it's kind of tied in with the clicking noise that a lot of people seem to be getting from their vortex. In that there's a tiny little piece, can't remember the name of it now, a little U-shaped fuse looking kind of thing. And inside the casing of the vortex, that has to actually loop over a spinning tube. And if that's very slightly out of alignment, it can catch the tube as it spins. So after my first fix, it was working, but I was getting the clicking noise. And it was because I hadn't quite aligned that little piece. So I had to take it off and resolder it, and it's absolutely spot on. So it's potentially a cure for another problem that everyone, or most people, have been having with a vortex. Okay, so we're 43.9 kilometers in, still really tight bunch, all doing perfect pace, absolutely amazing. I've just had to take my Apple Watch off because I didn't realise it somehow called the emergency services, and I didn't know until I could feel a vibration. Kev Stevens just messaged me saying, start drawing Kim Little a picture now. That's probably a good shout, Kev. Kim Little was an incredibly strong sprinter, so his name could well and truly be on one of the certificates at the end. But as I said, there are a lot of names in here that I'm not as familiar with, so who knows. I just hope anybody that's intending to go for that sprint lap has remembered to put WKG and their category in their name. I'd hate for it to be won by somebody that I can't include in the official results. But good luck to everybody anyway that tries. Thank you, Padron. Just messaged me to say great ride and to ride on. I don't know if that means you're having to jump off, as I know a lot of people will because of time constraints, etc. But thank you, my friend, I appreciate that. I'll just fire off the names of the people that I've still got in this group around me. P. Dorans, Keith Denton, Len Capel, S. Phelps, K. Henshaw, L. Anderson, D. Clark, C. Stafford, I think that was, or G. Stafford, apologies. MD, JPK, Backnuffer, I think that was. Krausner, Matt Rhys-Evans is there, D. Crook's there, N. Law's there, and we got Beastall, Mitchell, Vandelier, Rebecca, JM, Padron's right with me, M. Page, Incaking still there, Edegard, I think that's possibly pronounced, Gary DeVold still there. Thank you, D. Meyer for the ride on. M. Mitchell's there, Rudesheim, Karstberg. I'm going to give up on the names now, the pronunciation is getting worse. C. Sharp I can say quite easily, R. Patterson, simple, M. Mark. Anything longer than that I struggle. There's still a nice big bunch. Look at that. The orange train is still in full effect. 15 to go. Okay, so that's achievement unlocked. First time I've done 10 laps of this circuit. That's a nice little bonus. I think there's actually a 25 lap achievement as well, so most if not all of us are going to unlock that as well for the first time, which would be great. Cool, we pulled back in. There was our Brigdens, I think, had got dropped for a minute, so we managed to slow everyone down for a bit. I think I'm actually right at the back now, so let's try and get hold of a few of these guys that are around me and pull them back in towards this bunch. Cheers for the ride on, Rich. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, so I'm trying to pull back in Rana, Hughes, Anderson and Sam Leach, which I think we've done pretty nicely. Didn't have to really power up, just upped it very slightly. The main bunch are still just a little bit up the road there, but we've pulled everyone back in now, and the power of this little mini bunch at the back, or gruppetto I think you call it, should now catch on to the tail end of the big group ahead of us. Thank you, Gary DeVold, for the ride on. Hey, Todd Nadell. Thank you, my friend, for the ride on. Good to see you, buddy. And another lap ticks by. See, that's just amazing, look. Group up the front of maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 riders had managed to pull about 8 seconds ahead. I put out one message saying, please can you ease just a little at the front? And boom. They're all there in sight. Just a second or so up the road now. Great work, guys. Absolutely amazing.
Hold your breath. Make a wish. Count to 3.
Now, rumour has it that, I don't know if you can see on the screen there, the bollard blocking off that road that we've just sort of snaked around. That's the volcano climb route, which, according to some reports, will be open within the next week or two, along with an expansion to the London course, which should be exciting. So maybe we'll try and coincide our next WKG 100 with a nice volcano climb, if anyone fancies that. Might not sound like such a good idea at the moment, and you've got 50 kilometres in your legs, but could be fun. Maybe not 100 kilometres using the climb, but some kind of epic mountaineering challenge. Okay, so it seems the natural kind of pace to sit at for everybody is around 2.2, kicking up to about 3.2 for the climbs. And that seems to be what's keeping everybody pretty well grouped together. As we've actually crossed the halfway point now. Bang on target. Estimated that this ride would be about 3 hours. Crossed halfway and we're 1 hour 29 minutes and 40 seconds in. Obviously I expect the pace to soften slightly as everybody gets a bit more fatigued, but not that much. I think everybody here, and possibly including myself, is capable of holding that kind of power for the remaining 53.5 kilometres. And just as I say that, I drop down to 1.4 and a whole swarm of orange comes past me. 13 laps to go, guys and girls. When I say guys, incidentally, I tend to mean everybody. That's just a collective term. I'm not excluding females. Some people get a bit tetchy about what you call female riders as well. I got pulled up on calling them lady riders previously. So if I refer to females as women, ladies, girls, no, not chicks, I was going to say chicks, but no, I don't mean any offence. And when I say guys, I mean everybody, regardless of what kind of genitals you've got. I don't want to tempt fate, but since I matched the setup of this bike with my Cervelo from the bike fit I had, I've got a lot less pain in my backside than I had last time we did 100k. I mean, I'm sure it's going to come, but it just seems a slightly more even spread. I had a lot of pain on my left side, which is, I think, pinching a nerve, which is causing real pain in my left thigh. And touch wood, it's relatively comfortable at this point in time. And I'll do a quick edit now, and it will jump to the point where I'm actually crying in pain and all locked up with cramp. just gone past M. Schumacher. I'd love to think that was Michael Schumacher, Zwifting his way to a full recovery. He's a long-time hero of mine, in case I've not mentioned it before. Okay, so the bunch had splintered up again, just for a bit. And again, one call to ease off the pace. Absolutely worked like a treat. You guys have, I don't think I've seen a group ride where everybody's responded to instructions so well. It's brilliant. That's nothing to do with me, that's to do with you lot. Absolutely perfect. And look, we've still got this huge train of orange going. If anyone drops off the back, they give a little shout out, and then I put a message to drop down to, say, 1.5 watts per kilogram. Everybody does it with me. We pull back to the guys that have slipped off. They jump on, and then anybody that was off the front, they then ease up and wait for us to all catch back up with them. Incredible. It's just working so nicely. I was so nervous about trying to control this group, and it seems I don't even have to. Apart from Keith D, who apparently is a minute ahead of me. He's just said, right, I didn't notice you speed demons had shot off up the front, so I'm going to put another message out, I think. I'm not sure how big the group is that's up ahead, because I've still got a lot of numbers around me here, but apparently they're about a minute ahead. I've put the call out. To be honest, if anyone wants to shoot off, that's fine. Obviously the only stipulation is that if you're not behind me at the start of the final lap, then you can't be included in the prize giving at the end. But you know, I'm all for everybody just riding it at the pace that they're comfortable with. I've set this pace purely because it's the pace that I'm most comfortable with over this kind of distance, and hopefully one that will allow most people to still have a little bit of kick in their legs towards the end. Thank you, K Labich, I think that is, who's obviously time has run out for him, and this is going to be his last lap. Thanks for coming, buddy. Right, time to fuel up a little bit with a banana. Starting to feel a bit of achiness in the old the knees. Okay, so things have broken up a little bit. So we did a couple of cool-off laps, about 1 watt per kilogram. A few guys needed to refill water bottles and stuff, were able to jump off their bikes while the main train went round at a pretty slow pace. We've picked it back up again now to normal pace. It is slightly broken up, but we've still got a pretty decent group all bunched around here as we start lap number 18. Again, just to reiterate, I've got no problem with the fast guys that have gone off the front. That's absolutely fine, but they will need to drop in behind me at the start of that final lap if they want to be included in the results for the sprint race. It's always going to be difficult. There's such varied abilities on here. Throw into that the effect of the draft, and it was always going to be difficult to keep 195 together for this whole distance. But credit to everybody on here. We've got a really good bunch. Still all putting out exactly the kind of power that we're supposed to be. It's awesome. I will fire a reminder out in a minute when we get to maybe 80k to everybody that's up front. I mean, there is a group that I think are possibly coming up to lap us. They're that far ahead. So I'll fire a message out. That's a lovely big bunch around me now, and we're just a few metres off another maybe 10 riders there, just in a little train just ahead. We've got a powerful train going on here with this bunch, so if we're all holding around 2.5, I'd like to think we can pull those guys in, regroup with them, all 3 seconds up the road. I'll tell you where this is difficult being a ride leader, is obviously we want to include everybody, keep everybody together, so instinct suggests that I should be the one to drop back if people have been separated from the group. It's nothing to do with a lack of strength or speed. It's to do with the fact that if you just, a momentary lapse of concentration, if you drop off the back, even if the group are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing in terms of power, it's so hard to chase back on. So as ride leader, I feel sort of obligated to be the one that drops back, try and slow the whole pack down to regroup with the guys that have fallen off. But at the same time, everybody's come here to ride at a particular pace, and it's probably a bit irritating to be constantly told to slow down. I mean, that said, everybody's done it superbly well. But there's a lot of guys out there that could obviously be going a lot faster than this, and I feel bad that to try and be all inclusive, it does compromise the race of some of the faster guys that obviously would probably like this to be all to have carried on at 2.5 watts per kilogram the entire time. But like I say, Zwift just doesn't quite work that way, or group riding doesn't quite work that way. So I like the fact that we've managed to, as a group, we managed to pull back in riders that were 30-40 seconds off the back, and then have a lap also to allow everybody to recharge a bit, refill their bottles, and still get a big bunch like this together. Thank you, Rank. I think it's Rank or Rank Fitter. Another one whose name I've read and typed a lot of times and never actually said it. So apologies for the pronunciation. Thanks for the ride on, buddy. Just 200 metres away from 80-kilometre mark, which is brilliant. So 80k in. Well done, everybody. Awesome job already. Whatever happens from now on in, that's amazing. And we have now just 7 laps to go. Thank you, Pippa, Graham, for the ride on. Thank you very much. I'm just going to send a message out now to remind everybody they've got to be behind me for the start of the sprint lap. Okay, we're into the last 5 laps now, nearly 90 kilometres in. Still pretty well bunched together, it has to be said. A few spreads coming, which is natural as people tire at different levels. D. Owen's got to jump out. Unlucky, man. It's great to have you along. Thanks very much for coming. But we've still got a lot of riders in here and a lot still bunched together in this little train. And I've put the message out for everybody to be behind me at the start of the final lap. So hopefully some of the guys that absolutely creamed it from the start will start coming back towards us. I think I might have maybe even this next, no, not this next lap, the lap after, have an easier regrouping lap. Again, to allow guys behind to pull themselves in a little bit, rest the legs. There's been some guys that have had to really work themselves hard to jump back in the group having been dropped off, so it'd be nice to give them a little bit of and myself, a bit of an easier lap just before the chaos of the final sprint. I'm really nervous about keeping track of the results of the sprint because I've got to make sure whoever wins it, or basically the 4 group winners, I've got to make sure they were all behind me when the lap started, and obviously they've all got WKG and their category in their name. So it could get tricky. I'm going to be relying on Zwift power and video replays, I think, for to get final confirmation. And there we go, we hit the 90 kilometre mark. Superb. So 18.9 to go, or about 4 and a bit laps, in other words. But definitely, I think having the lap counter psychologically has helped to tick the miles down quicker. It's yeah, I'm tired, I'm sweaty, and the pace hasn't been, you know, excruciatingly high, and we've had a couple of easier laps, but even so, we're averaging probably, I don't know, 6 minutes 35, 6 minutes 40 maybe for a lap, and we've done 21 of those already, and don't feel terrible. There's still time for me to have a complete collapse, obviously, but a combination of the lap timer, lap counter, and the very minor adjustments I've made to my position on this bike seem to have really helped. It's just been an awesome event, I've got to say. It's just been absolutely astounding, this number of people. I mean, look at that line of orange there. I think this is only a fraction of them. I think there's a group about as big as this that have all shot off a few minutes away. It's absolutely amazing. Oh, people are talking about donuts and cream in the chat now. I really don't want to be thinking about that at this point in time. Oh, thank you, Christian. It's very kind of you to say. I'm enjoying it too. Group rides are always fun on this, but it's amazing when you're doing it with people that you consider to be really good friends in the forum and that watch the videos. So it's really nice to be surrounded by you all. Thank you, P. Santa Maria, as well, for the ride on that I just caught in the corner of my eye then. We're at 95 kilometres now, 14 to go, which is 3 laps, just over 3 laps. One of which should be very exciting indeed, I'm hoping. Just hope I can get a good view of it. Maurice Gilbert has just asked a question if anyone's going to be doing the KISS 100 race straight after this one. I wasn't aware there was one on, but no, you can definitely count me out of that. I think that's a full-on race for 100 kilometres as well. That must be an absolute killer. The most I can race for is probably about, I think the longest is the ZHR Hare and Hounds, which is about 38 kilometres. And at race pace, that is more than enough for me, that's for sure. SW's asking the directions to the tower. That's another big, massive no from me. I'm not going anywhere near that tower. Alright, I'm going to run through the names again while we're all pretty well gathered. M. Mitchell, L. Capel, R. Gerrant, H. Thigh, G. Anderson, G. Riddervold, K. Scramstead, JPK, M. Mitchell, I think I said, maybe, possibly, T. Hiddenheimo, so sorry about that one, MD, E. Likes, I'm going to say likes, M. Bandolier, Seahawks, R. Gerrant, T. Insaking or Incaking still there, Padrone Degas is still there, Kim Little still there, amazing, C. Adrian still there. Lovely big group this, and we're going to be doing a full-on regrouping lap after the banner, try and get everybody bunched back up again, because they'll all need to be behind me at the start of the following lap, and try and get everyone down to like 1.5 watts per kilogram. That should slow the guys up front into dropping behind me, and hopefully allow anybody that's dropped off the back a little bit to come in and be able to play a part in this final lap. Just 10.4 to go. You can actually feel, I don't know if everyone else is feeling the same as me, I can feel a little bit of tension now. So everybody kind of tries to maybe position themselves, all holding a pretty solid pace. I'm doing 2.2. Everybody around me is doing very similar. Nobody wants to jump the gun. Nobody wants to get inadvertently dropped off right at the end here. It's really interesting. Okay, 99 down, 10 to go. Oh dear, terrible joke there by Keith Denton. I'm almost embarrassed to repeat this, but so that I can embarrass him. Somebody else said they would like a bath. He said he'd love a bath too. Oh man, my camera's gone. No way. I'm doing my best to get the battery charged on my GoPro here, so I've got enough for that final lap. Apologies if not, we'll keep the screen rolling and the sound rolling. 100k done. So hopefully we'll be able to get my GoPro running in time for this final lap. I'm just trying to put some charge into it now. Oh, I'm absolutely gutted. I'll do my best to commentate anyway. Hey, Kristen Edegaard, that's his first ever 100k ride on Zwift. Well done, buddy. I know you can't see me, but I just did a thumbs up to my camera even though I wasn't recording. So good job, man. Okay, 1.5 please everybody. Okay, here we go. This is the group the grouping lap. Yeah, I see the guys in front all slowing up nicely, trying to drop in behind. And hopefully this will allow everybody to come back in from behind. Yeah, this looks good. Looks like most people ahead have stuck to the required pace to drop in behind the leader. I think some of the guys that have dropped off that have been sort of pedalling quite hard to get back on have now sort of jumped ahead, so hopefully they'll now ease off a little bit, drop in behind. Again, sorry you can't see the GoPro footage of any of this, but I'm trying to charge it so I've got enough for enough battery for the final lap. So I've just plugged it into a power brick, power bank. Try and just give it a little boost. Look at that, they're allowing me to come through to the front. I have a little roll down here. Okay, so I'm going to just easy spin this now. Try and keep an eye on the guys at the front. Looks like Henshaw and Little at the moment. They were the ones that were... Sorry, Kim Little I think has got this at the moment. Yeah, Ridova was right on him. This is looking good. I'm just easy spinning now to let this unfold. I hope I'm not ignoring Henshaw, because I think he was ahead of me when we went over the line. So I think it's these guys, Little, Geraint and Ridderveld at the moment. Inge Backman's there as well. Padron's there. There's a group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 riders at the moment. It's looking good for Kim Little. Alright, see if I can get the GoPro working now. I'm just keeping this as a very steady flow. You can see my beaker in the background. Keith D is there, but sadly he was way ahead of me, I believe. Or Kenneth's gone through up front. He was behind me at the start, I'm pretty sure of it. I'm going to have to check all this, so please forgive me if I get any results wrong to start off with. I'm going to need to do a fair bit of research. Once again, Kim Little moving to the front. I think he's actually most people's sort of hot favourite for this, so excuse the pun, coming through the lava. Our Geraint's there as well, but we've got Kim Little in the A's, so we're looking at 3 categories, remember. So at the moment we've got Kim Little, Geraint winning the B's. Looks like we've got Rombach in the C's, in the D's, and Padron in the C's there. I'm going to try and make sure I don't miss anything else out. Kenneth, once again, taking to the front for the B's here. How these guys have got that in them to be up in the 5 watts per kilogram for this final stretch is beyond me. I'm trying to think what the best camera view is going to be. Possibly that. How do I get one from the back? Who am I watching? I need to get further forward. So once again, Kim Little in the A's at the front with Geraint, the B's right behind him. I'm holding that back on the ride-ons just because I don't want to show any favouritism. Oh. But at the moment, well, hang on, look, Kenneth. There's Keith. Kenneth, I'm going to have to check to make sure you were behind me at the start. I'm pretty sure you were. So this is impressive stuff, my friend. In the B category, holding 5.5 watts per kilogram, rocking his Tron bike. Good man. How long have we got left of this? I've got to keep an eye on that finish line to make sure I can catch it. So we're still, right, Kim Little now is taking up the front once again. Is he looking to he's putting a bit of a kick. He's kicking away, he's got MD on his wheel who's digging in, but sadly Mr. MD, I cannot include you in the results because I don't have your category or WKG. Kim Little now, 10.7 watts per kilogram, pulling away. He was the firm favourite to win this. Obviously, he's the only A category rider that's up there. But look at that, he's holding 9.5 watts per kilogram. Unbelievable stuff. And he's coming up to go back inside the mountain now. So we've got Kim Little, our Geraint for the B's, currently leading the B race here in a big old group with Keith D, G Ridevold, Kenneth Skramstad's still in there, Inga Backman's still in there. M. Rombach for the D's hanging on in there. That's amazing. Well done, fella. Let's get back up to Kim Little, who is now well and truly out in front. He's pulled a 7-second gap over B. Dirtel in the B's. So Kim Little now holding 7 watts per kilogram. Looks like he's got this one in the bag for the A victory. Great job, man. All right, I'll give you your ride on now. Excellent stuff. I need to try and watch everyone else over the line now. Let's flick back. Who have we got? Who have we got? It was Keith D, followed by... Oh, I don't know. I can't include Keith D. I couldn't catch that. Oh, it's a really tricky one to call. I'm going to have to check that back on the video. It could well have been Gare Ridevold who took it for the B's. I'm going to have to check the video, guys. It's almost impossible to jump back that quickly over a 4-second period. All right, brilliant job, everybody. That was incredible stuff. I'll check back through the video and through Zwift Power results to make sure I know exactly who it was that picks up that, obviously that treasured money can't buy reward from myself. And I'll pop the results up on the WKG Facebook group and Zwift Riders and Zwift Racers groups as well. Unbelievable. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming along. That was absolutely awesome. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed it and how touched I was by the amount of riders that showed up for it. Absolutely phenomenal. And never has 100 kilometres or 108 kilometres gone by so quickly and so comfortably. And it just goes to show the power of having friends around you. So thank you again. I'll do my full-on Oscar acceptance thank you speeches in the WKG forum. There's a lot of guys that really helped out in promoting this and putting it together, so I'm incredibly grateful, and I cannot wait now to get another one going and try and build a bit of a series of these. So well done, everybody. Well done to the winners. I will obviously announce that as soon as I'm absolutely sure. There was one very clear winner, Mr. Kim Little, burst away at the front, but for the other categories I'll have to check it. I'm I'm not the best at commentating on those, as you know, and especially when they're all that tightly bunched together. So well done everybody, ride on, and I'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.